Kevin King did over 150 open houses in a year and was in and out of open houses for the first 2 to 3 years straight. And all he got from all of those efforts was 2 leads. Most agents are told that that's how you build a business. Kevin ran that playbook harder than almost anyone I've ever seen. And eventually he took a different route. And as a result, he found phenomenal results. I'm Coach K and I've been in real estate since 2004, coaching agents all across the country. Brand new agents starting from zero and agents who had been grinding away for years without ever finding their footing. In this series, I'm bringing you the real stories from those agents, how they got started, what they went through when they were getting started, and what it was that allowed them to succeed while 90% of the people around them were dropping out of the business. Kevin, he's the agent who figured out that the playbook wasn't his playbook. And he built his entire business by just showing up as exactly who he already was. This is Kevin King. He spent over 20 years in heavy construction equipment sales in Tennessee and South Carolina before packing up and moving to San Diego completely cold. New city, new career, no local network. 6 years in, his fear runs his business. One friend alone has sent him 4 deals, and he became so recognizable in a county with 20,000 agents that people call him a year later because they can remember that cowboy hat. That's Kevin. Now, we went back to the beginning, 20 plus years in heavy construction equipment sales before he picked up and moved across the country to San Diego and started all over in real estate with no background in the industry and no network in the city. I wanted to know what was going through his mind and what it was that was actually like to start from scratch.
So construction, heavy equipment, on highway trucking sales for 20 some odd years, in most of it in Tennessee, going to Charleston, South Carolina, and then to San Diego. But back in Tennessee, I always wanted to be in real estate. I say that because I feel like most agents get into it because they felt they got a bad deal. And that's kind of what done it for me. The difference was that back then, you had you either had to go to class or you had to the book. There was no online courses, so that's I didn't want to take a week off to go to, or however long it was, to go to school, because that's not a vacation to me. That's work. So I just never done it. And then by the time I got out here, online classes were available, and that's how I done it. And I was just tired of working for the corporate world.
Now, that cowboy hat had to come up. Here in Southern California, that's not something you see every day. And in a county with over 20,000 agents, he's built an identity so recognizable that he can call a lead a year later and open with, "Hey, I was the guy with the cowboy hat," and they would remember him. I wanted to know how that happened and what he thinks new agents get wrong when they try to build their own brand.
The hat, I was, being from Tennessee, I was a rodeo fan and independent pro wrestler. The gimmick, I wore the hat. And then whenever I was with the first brokerage, I latched on to a mentor and was at an open house one day, or she'd offered me to come and mentor at an open house. She said, "I see you always wear a hat. Wear it to the open house." Great. So I did. And then as much attention as I was getting from people that were walking in, she said, "I never want to see you without that hat." That's how the hat stayed. And at that time, San Diego County had 20 some odd thousand realtors in the association. You got to do something to set yourself apart. So I could call a lead from a year later and say, "Hey, I don't know if you remember me. We met at this open house. I was the guy wearing the cowboy hat." "Oh yeah, we remember you. Yellowstone, or Dallas, or J.R. Ewing, or So that's it.
One thing I needed from him to walk me through was how he actually built his community here. How did he show up in people's lives in a way that eventually generated real estate business without feeling transactional?
So naturally, the first 2 or 3 months, you set out to say, or let people know, "Hey, I'm in real estate now." I'm not a pushy salesperson at all, so I don't just sit there and hammer it. But I did let them know, and social media is one of the best forms of advertisement because it's free. And a lot of my deals The first one, I had a goal. My first deal, I wanted done within the first 3 months. 2 months, 3 weeks, I was in contract with my first deal, which was an open house. Second deal was a post from someone in my sphere that's a good friend. He was asking about renting. At the time, renting was much cheaper than purchasing a townhouse or a condo. We got him in something a couple of months later. A few months later, a referral. So the third one was a referral from a very close friend of mine. And I'll even do one more, which is because you asked me about 3, but 4 was from the same friend that referred me to that one, referred me to another person. So I just sold last fall the 4th one that I helped her purchase. And this 3rd one, we're about to go on the market sometime mid next month. So sphere base has been it.
When it came to his first 3 transactions, specifically the ones he sourced himself, I wanted the details. Did he ask for business directly? Did it come organically? Or was it some kind of combination? And what did he actually do to let people in his world know he was in real estate and to get them to trust him with something as big as buying a home?
Excellent question. Even in the sales side on heavy construction equipment, I was more relationship based than business and transactional. I always went in and built the relationship. Same way whenever I moved out here, you have to build a community, and that's kind of what I've done. But I've done it through just going out meeting people. I had, I would throw theme parties, or, I just hosted and entertained a lot. So that's how I built a relationship with friends. And then whenever I transitioned to real estate, nothing really changed other than now it's company-based or real estate-based, right? I don't even have to really mention real estate anymore after almost 6 years now. If they come over, they know they're usually asking me how the market is or what's going on. But I built it just through being myself. I mean, there's no scientific question or, scientific answer to that. It's just, I didn't do anything different other than spice it up and let people at the beginning know I was in real estate. Then they knew I wasn't sitting here pressuring them, hey, you got to use me. But they did know that I was in real estate. And now the questions come to me. I don't ask them the questions.
On the brokerage switch, I wanted him to be direct about what he saw in the old model that wasn't working anymore. And when looking back at the full arc from coached agent to where he is now, what he thinks actually made the biggest difference.
Good question. Also a hard question. The old model is, well, for one, with some of those brokerages, you just don't get your money's worth anymore. I felt the training had gotten watered down for what we paid, the splits. In wrestling, it comes down to cash and creative. Same thing with this, cash and creative. There was not the creativity you were allowed to do for the cash you were paying out or getting paid in. The fact that I moved over with you was more trust. I will say this: it doesn't matter where I go, whatever brokerage behind me you want, that's just a logo. I'm the brand, bottom line. So
3 things I want you to take away from Kevin's story. Number 1, personal brand is not a marketing exercise. Kevin has worn that damn cowboy hat since he was a teenager in Tennessee. He wore it to an open house because his mentor told him to. He got a room full of attention and never took it off. A year later, he could call a lead cold and say, hey, I'm the guy with the cowboy hat, and they would remember him. In a county of 20,000 agents, it needs something real about you. Not a logo, not a color palette, something you've actually been your whole life. Number 2, Kevin doesn't pitch real estate to anyone. After 6 years of showing up, throwing parties, being present, the questions come to him. One friend alone has sent him 4 transactions. He didn't run scripts on people. He let them know he was in it, stayed consistent, and kept the pressure off. If you've got people in your life right now who trust you, they will use you if they know you're available. And this last one is the most important one to take away. Kevin did a ton of open houses for the first 2 to 3 years straight, and he burned himself out. He got 2 leads from all of it, and then he stopped because he was honest enough with himself to recognize it wasn't his lane. The agents who stay stuck the longest are the ones who keep doing things that don't fit because somebody else said they should. Find where your business actually comes from and go hard there. The agents who actually make it aren't necessarily more talented. They just don't try to figure out everything alone. If Kevin's story feels familiar, reach out and let's chat about how we're able to help you with your business. There's a link in the description below. No agenda, no pitch, just a real conversation about where you are and what it would actually look like to get you moving. That's what the community I'm building is all about. 2 videos are gonna pop up on the screen right now. This one breaks down exactly why 87% of real estate agents don't make it through year 1. And after hearing Kevin's story, it's going to hit differently. It's worth the watch. Now be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm Coach K. I'll see you in the next video.